here watching St. Peter go to work. He is incredible. He was just down the BVI's, sunny and warm, but no, he comes back here to shovel the snow off a working barge so that the sailors at the Norwalk Yacht Club can have a wonderful day of frostbiting. We have a sort of a cold, wet easterly. We're going to be inside because outside there is kind of rough. If you look at the normal barge out there, it's just hopping all over the place, so we don't want to go out there. Well, this is right in here. This is fantastic frostbiting conditions. We've got pilings, we got big shifts and holes, and about 10 boats of hardcore sailors out here. Hard to explain frostbiting to people from Southern California or Florida. But here we go. Tom going upwind, getting his ready to go.
Right back.
So, getting ready to go on a day of racing. All right, here we go. First race on Sunday, March 10 at the Norwalk Yacht Club. We got a bristly northeaster. Puffs are probably 12 to 15. Lulls are probably 8. We got under a minute. Remember, the Dyers go sideways if they're not going forward, so they make a lot of slippage. So it looks like yes, I like what 64 is doing because the boat's going to be open, but he needs to get going. You never want to be stopped in a sailboat. You can be going slow. If you are going to stop, let's go forward, please. If you're going to be stopped, make sure you're not, make sure you're close haul course or below. We go straight ahead from here. It's perfect. So here we go. Couple boats on port tack down there. Looks like Ed and John. And Ed does not make it across. It's a high risk move. John's going to be ducking everyone. Is he going to get through? No. We can go right, turn right a little bit because John's going to be popping out right in here. So high risk move. Going through on trying the port tack start because it doesn't work. You end up where John is. So there was a lefty out there, so I understand why they're going. I want to get down to the pin, but a much better place to start is sort of in the middle of the line. And then you either stay on starboard and control, or you keep on the port if it's a lefty. Starting near an edge puts you at a huge disadvantage right off the beginning. All right, here we are. Came off the big lefty at the start, and the course, the windward leg is not to windward, it's a long port tack. So again, you want to be on port tack right after start. So again, there was no reason to start down near the left end. Middle line would be perfect. Near the line, called the drift, the pump. Middle line attack would have been a great start. All right, last off the dock, number 2 is the first one around. How often does that happen? Couple puffs, couple of tacks coming up in here. So a righty right at the top, which means you want to get oh, look at John, and then a lefty. So it's very shifty up here. You want to put some money, some room in the bank for the big shifts. Tacking on ley line is risky because it may not be the ley line in 15 seconds. Right now, John's goal is to pass one boat at a time. That's all he's trying to do. Every boat is money, so his goal is to pass one boat at a time. It looks like he has one behind him there, so. All right, the boats have the jibe around that mark. Don't forget, you can always tack around, and there it is, the tack around. It's totally safe, but now he has to give room to number 10. Not much momentum coming out of that jibe. 10 did have room on him. The moment you tack, you lose your right to mark room. And there's another tack around. That's okay. As they used to say on the Florida license plate, arrive alive. Laser, I can't tell you how many times I tacked around instead of jibe. It turns out upside down is slow. The whole trick is make sure you put your board all the way down and make sure you're hiking hard coming out of the tack. Leave your yourself enough room so that you can, you know, get down to the mark. You hate to tack around and not get down to the mark. Nice sailing there, John, coming around. Big lefty here, so I think he's making progress upwind. Oh, John. Watch John go upwind here. Boat's pretty level. He's totally tuned into the puffs without having to look at them. Feeling the boat, keeping it as level as you can. So the whole name of the game in puffy conditions, keep the angle of the mast constant on the horizon. Noticing his traveler blocks all the way down the corner. There's a puff, a little release on the main. Across here, see how he handles it. When you get a puff, you got to sheet out a little bit so the boat doesn't round up and stall. There's no jib to keep your bow down. And it's all on film, John. It's all on film. Nice comeback. Good speed. Sailing on the ships. Didn't lose speed in the puffs. Good maneuvers. Came back to maybe a third after being DFL at the first mark. That's championship sailing. All right, come on, 30 seconds to go. Down to the pin end. They're going to come right out soon. So far. That's it. We are above the line. Peter's the line. So his 19's put himself in a high-risk position here. Get away with it. Well done. High risk. High risk. Better start is down in the middle. Got a pile up there in the middle there. John was on starboard. Ed was on starboard. Another protest. Nice black puff coming here. Ed goes out and gets it. Nice lefty Ed, hiking hard. Oh! Maybe he could have sunk himself a little deeper into that. Sometimes you can tack on the edge of a puff and it goes away. Yeah, he got a pass by John. Why would starboard ever let port cross? Because starboard likes the way they're going. They don't want to tack. We got a rescue team, hard at work here. Well done.
Hey Matt, try backing the whaler.
Backing it up?
Yeah, right.
All right, watching Bill go downwind. I would keep my centerboard down today. More maneuverability. But make sure you're looking back, Bill. The action's going to come from behind you. Nothing bad is going to happen ahead of you. The puffs is what's going to put you in drama. Now, right now, there is no drama. Just want to relax. Get your sail as much as possible. I bet you got your main out a little bit more. Of course, you're more safe with the main in. The boat's more stable. More the main out, more tippy it is. So it's a little bit like how much gas you want to give it in the car. But again, here's a puff hitting us. There's a puff coming. There, he does his job before the puff. Now don't force it. Careful here, my friend, because you're about to get hit with a puff. The puff is just hitting us now, so it's about to hit Bill. Now the whole trick to jibing is you want to turn quickly. There it is. Well done. I assume your board's down. Nice, relaxed bang. That's probably more safe. All being safe right now. Ground needing a good bit of breeze. Don't over trim. boat should stay relatively level. Alright. Alive. Well done. Behind them, please. Alright, we're watching Tom and Ian going upwind here. They're hooked together at the hip. It's a good beat right now. Tom tacking out. Where's your wool hat, my friend? Wool hat's your friend on a day like today. There's a little bit of puff on the right here. We'll see if it's gone by him or not. We'll see what's going to happen. There's a little bit of a knock there and pressure. So now yank your tacking on that. Dyer, you're going to come out a little fat, a little below close haul, a little sheeted out, and get the boat moving. Not much laminar flow on a Dyer Dhow, so you want to come out of maneuver, bow down, and going fast and breeze with your mainsail out. I might consider putting both legs behind the thwart. It's a little bow down to me right now, if you're comfortable doing that. Plus, you're a little more maneuverable with both legs behind the thwart. At least I feel I am. There's a little light spot. Now make sure you're looking up so the puffs aren't catching by surprise. You can see them coming. They're on the water. All right. Big righty, but looks like it's very close with him and number two. It's too good to get across. Just nipped him at the finish. All right, looking down the line, we got about 45 seconds to go. This is race number 3. Again, it's still the puffy northeaster. Probably a good day to keep your centerboard down the whole day. Remember, Dyer Dhow, if you're going slow forward, you're going fast sideways. So they drift a lot. See the way John's staying up line. He's drifting down the line. K1 going sliding left. So when you sheet in, you're going to kind of go sideways. So John's going to try and win the boat here. Here comes a nice pop. There's 10 seconds to go. Everyone's going to be way behind the line. Except maybe 19 to pull the trigger pretty fast there. See how John waved above the line, above the extension. All the boats in the middle didn't have a good sense of where the line was. Not a good sense of the drift. So you really have it's pretty short lines. So you should know where the line is most of the time. And then keep fighting your way up to it. Nice job up this beat. He's worked the left side. Big pressure coming in. Look, we got the Ed and John show there. They can't quite get there. So Mike did a nice job. And 64 right behind him. They're going to have a ding-dong battle downwind. Ed's coming in on port. John's coming in on port up there. Needs to be careful. He's tacking in the zone. So he can never make other boats go above close haul to avoid hitting them for as long as he's in that zone. No problem there. Off he goes in a nice puff. I'm noticing he's adjusting his board a little bit. We can talk about that later. Board all the way down is safe. A little more maneuverable. Maybe a touch slower, but I think you might. I would put it down in the puff, and maybe you can put up a little bit in the low. All right, downwind, the gas pedal is getting the main out. So the farther you get the main out, the faster you go. The other thing is maybe putting a right leg in front, though I always sail with both legs behind. Maybe because I'm a big guy or lazy. But I know some of the guys will go legs in front downwind to get that bow down, that stern up. I'm uncomfortable doing that myself. And then in breeze, I like to be level. And in lighter stuff, I like to be heel to windward. So right now, everyone's going level. I see no one heeling to windward. John's got to watch his boat rocking there a little bit. It's easy to see the mast against the horizon. So he's got to make sure he's not doing that with his upper body. His leash is flicking, so I don't know if that means he needs to let his boom out more, or if it's always against the shroud, then maybe he's on the verge of jibing here. There's his jibe right there. So that leash flick. Now right here, now K1 does not want to let this other guy get to his left. So this is a bit of a tactical mistake because it's a left-hand turn. So you want to defend your left downwind. Even if it means jibing, you want to defend your left downwind. Who's the boat outside of him? K something?
Bill.
So Bill was leading, and number 2 is K? Ian. Bill was leading Ian, but then Bill let Ian overlap him to leeward on his left side. And that's going to be fatal because then that's the inside at the mark. So you never want to give up your inside. You want to defend your inside down the run, which is your left side looking downwind. So that pass there was just a lack of defense. All right, two boats coming in a puff. Outside boat's got to get inside room to jibe. Outside boat wants to just stay clean. Uh-oh. 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 All right, there's 1 minute to start. I think this is race 4. We're down to 7 boats here. I think the whole key on this start is to get off the line on the port as quickly as possible. That's good, Sam. No, if you can slow down, that'd be awesome.
Well, you got that?
So Tom's got to be very careful. Here's a windward boat. He has no rights to go in there.
You can take that boat.
So we'll see what Tom's, he's got to get over the top of John here without hitting him with his boom. Don't take a chance there. 20 seconds. You can see the drift, and I haven't really focused on the current. There's got to be some current. But look, the boat's wide open. 19 took a big chance tacking in there. And then Tom was just going too fast. See what John Fallon did there? That's his textbook. Somewhere in the middle of the line, tack at the start. It's a little tough to get across the line right now, especially in the lefty. So you want to be on port early. And 19 got away nicely down there. Tom just was going to a speed and went underneath the guy who was going for the pin. Once he got over the top of Fallon, I think Tom should have just parked it. Just go down and park it to leeward of him. He was in good control there. So John was the first one on the port, and then he, in the lefty, then he hit the first righty. So he's connecting the dots. It's called connecting the dots. Nice leave out tack there. Now listen, when you get an auto header like that, you might as well just tack. There you go. You don't want to get too slow. You don't ever want to get slow in a Dyer. So John's just connecting the dots up there. He could not have sailed less distance on this beat. And that's the idea. You want to start on the lifted tack and stay on the lifted tack. You always want to go fast on the tack, taking you closest to the mark. He's got a nice little lefty on the inside there. The big lefty. That happens sometimes. But his lead there is, it all was his start. And then hitting the shifts after that. So well done. All right, we're watching Mike, Kevin, and Will, right to left. Mike, Kevin, Will. If they're going to a gate, it would be a very even race. But they're not going to a gate, so the boat on the inside has the advantage. So Mike is taking a big risk down there. There's no real reward for him staying down there. Unless these two get in a ding-dong battle and end up sailing above the line and have to come down the mark and have to come down slow. But right now, Mike's probable goal is to have a good rounding right next to the mark. And if either boat in front doesn't have a good rounding, so be it. Now, all boats should be looking back. No one's looking back enough. You need to know where the puff's coming from. Now, 64, he gets just enough room to go to the mark. He doesn't get a tactical wide and close. Mike should stay careful, Mike. He only can go seaman-like rounding, which is sort of half a boat length. And I think that was textbook right there. Now, Mike's got too much speed here. Mike wanted to slow down. Yeah, see, Mike just had too much speed there. A better move for Mike would have been to come in a little later and roll into that tack. He ended up going a little bit outside, then in bad air in the tack. So I think he had a little too much speed at the end there. All right, Ian and Kevin have a good battle here. They're going off to the right. There they are, both up on the edge of their boats. Attaboy, hiking hard. Where's the next pressure? There's a little pressure on the right here. Now here, Kevin, there's no real game in that. You know, tacking to leeward and behind, basically, which is you're conceding, you're playing for third, which I'm not saying is bad. You're covering and you're playing for third. If you wanted to have a shot at Ian, you would attack first, try to get a little leverage and get something on the left. Speaking of left, here comes Mike out of the left. Remember, he rounded the mark third of these three. But I think there's a little right-hand puff. Oh, it's going to be close. And righty's going to win out here, I think. And there goes Kevin, the conservative. Just get the third place. Try not to lose places. If you can gain, that's great, but don't gain at the risk of losing. All right, Kevin's dancing a disaster down here. 20 seconds to go. He's below the pin lay line. Really rough place to be. Mike coming in on port. Is he going to start on port? Here come all the starboard tackers. Yeah. Yeah. All right, tough to get off that low end. You know, we got a boat over early. Had to jibe yet to the puff. John's going to be spinning. That's not going to be a picnic in this breeze. Too risky. Just start in the middle and tack. No. Tom's about to do his tack here. Sailing away from the mark there, my friend. Sailing away from the mark, but he's going a little towards pressure. There's the pressure. But you got to use that pressure to go uphill. There's his tack. You overturn a Dyer. Make sure you overturn. John, here comes attack by John. You want to overturn in a Dyer. Not overturn as in capsize, but overturn as in come out below close hauled. Very late up here. John's going to do 2 quick tacks. Now John's going to be tacking in the zone here. So there's no boat near him, so he's okay. But if K1 did need to go above close haul to void, then that would be a foul. Okay. Now this is going to be a problem right here. So there's a foul. So you just have to kind of look ahead. And again, try and let the boats get out to your right at the top here. So probably what we should hear is my bad, I'll spin. Maybe not. Okay, talking about it. Now the rule says you're supposed to promptly get clear of other boats, and as soon as you're clear, do your turn right away. So you don't get to go downwind. Now listen, we don't want to have any tipping over, so maybe we need to bail a little bit so it's safe to turn. But just so we understand what the rule says, as soon as you foul, you're supposed to get away from the other boat and then make your turn. So here he goes. He's really making no effort to turn, so there he goes. Well, sort that out. Who's this? Will. We got Will hiking hard, coming upwind. That's great action right there. Move back a little bit, make sure so you're not plowing that nice round bow, but good job. Good close race. O2 is who? That's Ian. Ian. So Ian's got to be careful when he tacks here. He doesn't foul. He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. He's going to go behind. Then what's he going to do with him here? Goes up to windward. Nice loose cover. Here Here comes Will back on start. Will, right?
Ian.
Ian on starboard and Will just back in front of him?
Yep.
Yeah. So these guys are having a ding-dong battle here. Not over till it's over. Keep going fast. Kevin's got the low profile look here. Nice low in his boat. This guy he's a rock, man. This guy went swimming earlier on. He's out here, no gloves, no hat, going fast. Two just won that race by going to the right-hand end there. How about that?